This is the value of wrestling, the revolutionary force in wrestling podcasting.
Oh, you know what? I'm back. I'm back right here with another big time rant. We're going to break down some news going on in wrestling. Just a little bit of this, a little bit of that. We're going to break it all down for you as soon as we come back. We're going to talk about who's the devil. Lots of speculation, a lot of ideas who the devil might be, and what is going on with Tony Khan and bad booking, good booking. Is AEW on the right path for booking? Is creative out of control? Is it all just bad? Well, we're going to discuss all that and so much more. Stay with me. Join me. Shall you? Oh, I'm back, and you know it. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm back. I'm the one. I'm the big time. Oh, you know who I am. Right here on Big Time Rant, brought to you by the value of wrestling. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I am back in studio to break down some news, rumors, and sports speculation going on here for you right now. We're going to go over it, and we're going to break it all down, and we're going to talk about it right now. A lot of speculation and rumors going on about who is the devil, who is playing the devil, who's going to be behind the mask of the devil, how is this all going to play out, how is this going to all work out, who is who, and who is fooling who. Now, we know MJF originally made his debut as the devil, and we've seen him around the mask, and we saw prior to the devil showing up again on AEW TV that the mask was hanging up in the locker room above MJF and Adam Cole, and then the devil showed up. And so now the speculation is who was able to get the devil mask. Of course, could it simply be MJF? Could this be the greatest ploy by MJF? Could be MJF just be tricking everybody, and it's eventually just going to be MJF to no surprise, no shock. It's just going to be tomfoolery. Is he going to be smoking mirrors just to find out it's the one and only MJF? Very good possibility. Could very well happen. It could be simply that it's MJF. It doesn't have to be any deeper than that. It could be simple. And of course, that is the journey. We could be swerved in one way or another, thinking that it's so many other people, but in the end of the day, it could simply be MJF from the get-go. MJF could be playing us all for fools and everybody else along with it. Who else could be it? Well, we know Adam Cole is one of the number one people that people are speculating. Adam Cole could be the devil. Adam Cole could be the culprit. Adam Cole could be the one behind the devil mask, setting MJF up for all this. This could be the turn of Adam Cole and MJF once he comes back from injury. They could carry out the storyline with somebody wearing the devil mask, and it could be Adam Cole the whole time. Could it be Adam Cole? It could make sense. Adam Cole could rejoin the kingdom with Roderick Strong. And be the devil in this situation. He could have easily stolen the mask from MJF. Most reasonable, most highly suspectable person would be Adam Cole because he was right there in the locker room. It would not be hard to buy into the idea that he could just simply take the mask from MJF and become the devil. What if it's CM Punk? Ladies and gentlemen, there's a lot of speculation, a lot of talk, a lot of rumors, a lot of murmurs that this possibly could be the biggest con job Tony Khan has ever pulled off. This could be a show. Maybe this whole thing from All In was staged. It was all set up. It was all a ruse to get CM Punk off of TV for a while to set up a bigger storyline. Could CM Punk be the devil? Could this be the greatest trick the devil's ever told to make you believe that he's not even there when he's there the whole time? Could this be a vast storyline where CM Punk is the devil? He never really got fired. It's just been a ruse between CM Punk, Tony Khan, and whoever else may be involved in there. Or did Tony Khan realize that he needed CM Punk back, and it's been working to get CM Punk to come back to AEW? CM Punk did say he had 2 weeks with nothing to do. Full Gear coming up in November very soon. Full Gear is right around the corner, and that would fit into that timeline where CM Punk told us that he had 2 months. And then he was going to be a little busy. So could it be that? Could it be that CM Punk is going to make his return to AEW? Was he never really gone? November 18th, live from the Kia Forum in Los Angeles, California area. It's going to be Full Gear. And we know MJF is defending his AEW title against Jay White, even though Jay White right now holds that title. So it's going to be very interesting. But could CM Punk show up at this event and redeem himself, reveal himself as the devil? Could we find out this is all a ploy and this is all a con? Could we figure out that Tony Khan made peace and made up with CM Punk to bring him back in to do something? Or is this just another smoke and mirror of people wanting it to be CM Punk? Could CM Punk show up at Full Gear before Survivor Series comes out, throwing off anybody's plans? I don't know. There's been a lot of talk, a lot of rumors, a lot of speculation. I don't know if CM Punk's still with AEW, but it would be very interesting if he came out as the devil. What about somebody else that hasn't been in action for a while? What if somebody else came out as the devil himself? What if it's Jack Perry? Jack Perry's been out in action since All In. Also, he's been indefinitely suspended by the words of Tony Khan. So we have not seen Jack Perry in a long, long time. Could this be Jack Perry's way of returning? Could this be Jack Perry setting up for a feud with Jay White, MJF, whoever else? Is this the way that they bring back in Jack Perry under the devil mask? It could be very interesting if Jack Perry is playing this role. Something different. We have to see how this all plays out and where it all goes from here. But Jack Perry could be another name that's under that devil mask. Now, a surprising twist, a twist that really could throw the gambit into a whole different direction and change the course of the whole direction. What if it's David Finlay? Yes, I said, what if the man under the devil mask is none other than David Finlay? Who is David Finlay, some of you might ask? Well, if you don't know, you better get knowing. But David Finlay is the current and 7th leader of Bullet Club. Could this be a Bullet Club versus Bullet Club feud? Could this be New Japan Pro Wrestling and AEW working together where that Bullet Club, the original Bullet Club out of New Japan Pro Wrestling, is coming after the former leader in Jay White, who's continuing to use the Bullet Club name, being Bullet Club Gold? Could this be where we introduce Bullet Club in AEW TV? Is this how we get some more crossover with New Japan Pro Wrestling? Could this be David Finlay under the devil mask attacking Jay White, starting a feud between the Bullet Club? Could this lead to something bigger, better, and then a more amazing Dave Finlay? What a catch that would give. What if this is a great storyline with Tony Khan? This could be good booking, depending on who's under this mask and how it all plays out. But man, David Finlay as a devil. Bullet Club coming to dismantle Bullet Club Gold? Is this the realm of possibilities? Is this what's going to happen? I don't know. We're all going to have to sit on the edge of our seats and wait and see how it plays out. Will we get to know what's going on at Full Gear? Maybe we'll get to find out before Full Gear. It's all going to take time to play out, but somebody's playing the devil, and we're just here to guess and speculate. In other news, AEW having a hard time with creative. A lot of stars are unhappy with AEW's creative control, where creative is going, and how creative is worked. Tony Khan worried about wrestlers leaking out information, so it seems like he's booking week to week and not really focusing on long-term storylines because he's afraid that information is going to get out. Wrestlers are coming up with ideas, but it's really hard for them to book what goes on week to week when everything's changing and you never know what's going on. And, of course, Tony Khan books big matches for one night without storylines, without reason, just kind of throws them together. Sometimes he calls them dream match like we had with Andrade El Idolo and Bryan Danielson. And now speculation that Bryan Danielson was actually his original injury for the orbital bone happened between him and Andrade El Idolo, and then was just made worse between the match with him and Claudio Castagnoli against Orange Cassidy and Kazuchika Okada. And I hope I nailed that one on the button. But with that being said, we got big dream matches like that, but you look at Andrade El Idolo and you look at Bryan Danielson, great workers in the ring. It's not about the talent in the ring, but Andrade El Idolo is not looked at the same level as a Bryan Danielson on AEW TV. So it's really hard to say, oh, this is a dream match. It was a good match. There's nothing wrong with the match, but I can't buy into Andrade El Idolo being a dream match opponent for Bryan Danielson. Bryan Danielson's presented like this, and Andrade El Idolo is kind of presented floating around here. So, and then we got a big match this week that was started on Dynamite with 3 days build into Collision when we got MJF defending his AEW title against Kenny Omega. And MJF doesn't even have the title. Jay White's holding possession of the title, even though MJF's the champion. Kenny Omega's longest reign as AEW champion was coming up at the end of the month. MJF is going to surpass that now, as we know that. But this match was built on this whole ideology of, Omega didn't want MJF to hold the record for the longest reigning AEW champion. He was going to stop him. That didn't happen. The end of the match was this respect moment, almost like a passing of the torch moment. It kind of deflated everything. It makes it kind of hard for Kenny Omega just to get back in and try to have a title match with MJF later. This was definitely a match that you could have booked for a big pay-per-view incentive, but you booked it on free TV with 3-day notice. It was a little quick and not a whole lot of storyline. We got a brief little storyline, and if you didn't get the initial storyline, it was just you missed it all. And then we got a good match on a show that was pretty bad. Everything else on the other show, good wrestling matches. It was just like Jay White squashed AR Fox. Yes, they let AR Fox look kind of good in that match, but he eventually just fell, and there's no real threat. You look at AR Fox against Jay White, you pretty much know Jay White's going over. It would be a big shock if AR Fox was to get an upset win there. Then you had the Guns versus the Boys, Dalton's Boys. You knew that was a squash match to help get the Guns over. Then you run into the Friday Night Fight, Fright Night Fight, or whatever that match was, and that was just not a good match. It was a wasted spot, made the women's title not look so good. Nothing against the stars that were in the match. It wasn't them that was bad. It was just the match was booked, the way the storyline was told, the way everything came together was bad. Not that the talent didn't try to go out there and give us a decent match with what they had. It was just a bad match, a bad place to put your women's title. And then when WWE does a similar match just a couple nights later, you get really shown how it's done. And you really have to look at it through that lens and go, yeah. Anyways, and then we got a squash match with a what was it? Well, we had Samoa Joe over Rhett Titus in a quick squash that didn't really do anything good. And Claudio Castagnoli had his squash match. And then we got the main event match. So it was not a good show. You had one good match that could have been booked anywhere else and booked to be better. But a lot of people are upset with creative control, or not even creative control, but just the creative aspects of AEW. And that all falls on Tony Khan. Tony Khan says he's the head of booking. He's the head of creative. He's the man in charge. He is the booker. He may listen to a lot of people. He may let a lot of people have input. But at the end of the day, it all falls on Tony Khan, and the booking has not been great. The booking is not driving people to come watch the show. He's not giving us anything entertaining. He's not giving us reasons to come watch next week. Booking great wrestling matches is great, but it's one-off, it's done, it's over, and then there's no excitement. You're not building us into the building. You're not giving us storylines. You're not fitting other things in there. Even if you're building a big match, you're not giving us a whole lot of other substance to get into or bite onto, or you also be interested in, or giving us something that's on that show that's going, hey, what's going on over here? Continue. It's going to be interesting what Tony Khan's going to have to go do going forward. But a lot of people seem to be upset with the creative process in AEW. And this comes down that Tony Khan's trying to keep rumors from leaking out, or the storylines from leaking out, or anything from leaking out. And if that's what Tony Khan's afraid of, then Tony Khan's going to have to grow up and become a boss. He needs to quit being a friend. He's got to start laying down the law. And I know Tony Khan doesn't want to fire anybody, but maybe it's time to put down the law and fire people. Now, it is said that he fired CM Punk. He fired CM Punk with cause because it went too far, and so we finally saw him supposedly fire somebody. Now, of course, with the rumors and speculation that CM Punk could possibly be the devil, was CM Punk ever really fired, or was that just part of this whole show, or was he fired and then rehired? Could be interesting. Of course, that sets a precedence, too. It's going to get real interesting in how that all plays out. But at some point, Tony Khan's going to have to step up and decide what is best for his company. And if he's going to have to fire some people to draw a line, to stand his ground, to make to make a stand, saying, hey, if you're going to leak out information, get busted, you're going to get fined. If you keep doing it, you're going to get fired. It may be what Tony Khan has to do. He may have to get away with this idea that he doesn't want to fire anybody, because at the end of the day, sometimes you have to do the dirty work, and the dirty work isn't always fun. And sometimes you have to let somebody go for whatever reason it may be. And so Tony Khan may be at that point where he's going to have to start laying the groundwork, the foundation of, hey, we're not going to accept this. This is not going to be tolerated. If you're out here talking in dirt sheets and leaking stuff that shouldn't be leaked, then we have problems. And then he just needs to control who has information, If it's people in their own matches, at least you can run it down. If somebody leaks something about their match, you know who to hold accountable. So, for Tony Khan, he's going to have to decide what the future for his booking in his company is and how he's going to control it going forward. But that's enough of me. I have rambled on for long enough. We've talked about who could be the possible devil, who's wearing the mask. We've talked about Tony Khan, AEW, and their creative booking issues going on. It is Halloween, and I know you don't want me to keep you all because everybody's getting ready for Halloween parties, ready to go out and get some candy, go door to door, and go trick or freaking treat. I know. What a wonderful way to end October. We're moving into November. Lots going on right here at the Value Wrestling, so make sure you're tuned in for that. Make sure you've subscribed so you can be a part of the Value Wrestling family, because each and every one of you is a valuable part of the Value Wrestling family. And with your subscription, you help us grow, help us keep pushing forward. Also, make sure you hit that bell for notifications so whenever we go live or put up new content, because you never know when we're going to drop new content on this channel, you'll be notified immediately. So make sure you hit that bell for notifications. Go ahead and like this video. Let everybody know you liked it, and go ahead and share it out to anybody that you know that is friends, family, or loves the world of professional wrestling. Let them know that the Value of Wrestling is here, and we are making a charge to become one of the best in the podcast game. Otherwise, drop a comment down below. Just be respectful. Everybody's allowed to their opinion. We don't have to agree. We can always agree to disagree. Just be respectful when putting your comments in the comments below. We appreciate your comments, your feedbacks, your likes, and everything you do. We are the Value of Wrestling. I'm the Big Time. This is the Big Time Rant. And like I always say, until the next episode, it's time to say bye. You know it. Ladies and gentlemen, we get you out of here. And until the next one, I'm gone.